What's going on, everybody? VinnyInTheLab here. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been planning to do for a while, and that's going to be things to know for Pokemon Go. So it's going to be 5 things that I think are very important for everybody to know about the game. They're in no particular order, but it's just things I think are important. So without further ado, I'm going to start now. So the first thing I want to talk about is understanding catch rates. So it's important to know that this information isn't 100% confirmed, but it comes from pretty good sources, and it seems to be pretty accurate. So, first off, each Pokemon has a predetermined catch rate, and it varies on the species of the Pokemon and the CP of that Pokemon. So, the approximate catch rate is displayed by 4 different colored circles inside the white circle when you throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon. So, you've probably noticed this, you'll see different colors when you're going to catch a Pokemon. So the highest color catch rate is green, yellow is the second highest, orange is the second lowest, and red is the lowest. This means a Pokemon with a green circle will be easier to catch than a Pokemon with a red circle. So there's aside from that, there's a lot of factors that go into catching a Pokemon, other than their catch rate. So the first thing that a lot of people probably know about at this point is a curveball. You might have seen people doing it on other videos. I think in the clip that I'll have behind this video, I do it to catch Pokemon also. So you spin the Pokeball around and throw it at the Pokemon, and that gives you a catch multiplier. And then there's the nice, great, and excellent catch multipliers. It's when the colored ring gets smaller and you hit inside that ring, you receive one of those multipliers. And aside from that, there's raspberries. So it's believed that the multipliers for a curveball is 0.5 times. So, and then the nice multiplier is 1.1 times, the great multiplier is 1.4 times, and the excellent multiplier is 1.7 times. So basically, if the Pokemon has a catch rate of 30% and you throw a curveball, it should have about a 45% chance of being caught. Whereas the same Pokemon would have a 63% chance of being caught with the nice multiplier and not the curveball multiplier. So the thing about this is, since it's not confirmed, these multipliers seem like they may be a little high, because if for excellent having a 1.7 times multiplier and a curveball having a 0.5 times multiplier, that means that a Pokemon with like a 40% catch rate or above would be caught pretty much every time. So I don't know if that's exactly correct or not. And I was not able to find what the multiplier for a raspberry is, so I don't even have a number for that, but I know that increases your chance of catching a Pokemon also. Whether that affects the base number or if it's a multiplier, I don't know. All I know is that when you use a raspberry, it doesn't change the color of the circle of the Pokemon. So maybe it doesn't change the base. Whereas if you go to a Great Ball or an Ultra Ball, that will change the color if you were using a Pokeball. And also, this was something that people were confused about a lot. The raspberry lasts until you successfully hit the Pokemon with the Pokeball. So if you catch it, obviously the raspberry worked the whole time, and that's it. But if the Pokemon breaks out, then the raspberry ends there. But if you miss a bunch of Pokeballs, the raspberry's still on until you actually successfully get the Pokemon in the Pokeball, whether it's caught or not. Alright, so that's it for understanding catch rates, and the next thing I want to talk about are Pokestops. So Pokestops are the main source of obtaining items in the game, and they're the only renewable source of items without actually spending money. So by renewable, I know that you get a lot of items for leveling up, but that's not consistent. So Pokestops are consistent as long as you are able to go to them. So the items you receive from a Pokestop are determined at random, but are based on your trainer level. For instance, you will receive Pokeballs from Pokestops starting at level 1, but will only start receiving Great Balls from them once you have unlocked them at level 12, and the same for Ultra Balls at level 20. So the type of items you can receive at Pokestops are Pokeballs, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, Potions, Super Potions, Hyper Potions, Max Potions, Revives, Max Revives, Raspberries, and Eggs. Just like Great Balls and Ultra Balls, the higher level Potions and the higher level Revives are unlocked at higher levels, and also Raspberries are unlocked at higher levels as well. Eggs can be received from Pokestops from level 1, as long as you have room in your egg inventory. The maximum amount of eggs you can keep in your inventory at any given time is 9. As of now, that number cannot be expanded. Maybe that'll be expandable in the future, but as of right now, there's no way to do it, not even in the shop. So eggs also come in 3 different forms: 2-kilometer eggs, 5-kilometer eggs, and 10-kilometer eggs, all of which contain different random Pokemon, and all of which can be obtained from Pokestops from level 1. It's important to note that even though you unlock higher quality items like Great Balls or Ultra Balls, you will still receive the lower quality items like Pokeballs and potions. Also, the lower quality items and the 2-kilometer eggs, they're going to be a lot more common at Pokestops. People have said that they're Pokeballs, you get Pokeballs 70% of the time over other types of items, but the actual Pokeball instead of not just Great Ball and Ultra Ball, those are going to be way more common. I remember I was almost out of space and I maxed out my space. I had 500 item slots and I had like 250 Pokeballs, like 70 Great Balls, and like 15 Ultra Balls. It's really not. The Ultra Ball ratio it's really hard. So be careful when you're using your Ultra Balls. You do not want to waste them on a Pokemon that's not needed for. So that's it for Pokestops. The next topic is going to be finding Pokemon. So for those of us who started playing Pokemon Go when it was first released, we got used to a way to effectively track Pokemon with the steps. However, after a bug in the tracking system, the steps no longer worked, and Niantic later revealed they felt the system didn't work with their vision of playing Pokemon Go, and they removed it entirely. So as of right now, there is actually a new accurate way. When I first wrote these notes, there wasn't one. I'll do another video explaining how the steps work. I'm sorry, not the steps, how tracking works. There's a lot of videos out there already. Feel free to look around for that. But it's not really the best way, in my opinion. I like the steps. I didn't see a problem with that. It was exciting when you would go outside and from your house, if you saw a cool Pokemon 3 steps away, and then the steps start to go down, you know you're going the right way. The indication is really nice. What's nice about the new system is that it refreshes very quickly. So if you go out of range of a Pokemon, it's automatically off your list, and you know that you're going the wrong way, so it's easy to track down that way. So there are still a bunch of third-party sites and apps up. Niantic has made it very clear that they frown on all of these services. The ones that actually tie into your accounts, try to stay clear of those completely. People are being permanently banned from the game for using botters and third-party services of any kind. So just be careful. You don't want to lose your account just because you were trying to find a Pokemon. I don't think that Niantic should ban people for using something like this. Maybe a warning, but just don't do it. Use the game the way it was intended. It'll just make your life easier in the long run. So as of August 8th, there was a small update where this is where they added the refresh. At every 200 meters, it'll refresh. So I'm sorry, not every 200 meters. It refreshes regularly now. So if you go out of range of a Pokemon 200 meters away, it'll disappear, like I said. At first, we thought that the grass in the nearby list was just an aesthetic that had no point, but it was basically just accompanied with this system. I still think, as of right now, the best way to get Pokemon is either to use incense or find an area with Pokestops and set up lore modules. For the best results for that, find spots where there are overlapping Pokestops and set up modules on all the stops that are in range. You can also use an incense while sitting at a lured Pokestop, but the incense will only spawn a Pokemon every 5 minutes while staying still. The best way to utilize your incense is to move at a consistent speed of 7.5 miles per hour. So you could be in a car, you could be on a bike. As always, I'm going to advocate do not drive and play Pokemon Go. If you move at least 7.5 miles per hour, 1 Pokemon will spawn per minute. Now, I'm not sure if this actually works per minute if you encounter the Pokemon. So it might be 1 minute after you finish your encounter with the Pokemon, finish catching it, or if it runs away. So either way. So if you're going to do this, ride your bike in a safe area, maybe with a little setup, like a little rig that people have been making for their games, or ride as a passenger in a car, although the new passenger pop-up will be very annoying. So that's the end of finding Pokemon, and now we're going to talk about filling up the Pokedex. So filling up the Pokedex is something many of us were excited to do from the launch of Pokemon Go. It's really fun to do, but it can also be very daunting. For those of us who live in cities, finding Pokemon or active lures is an easy feat. For anyone who lives in the suburbs or rural areas, Pokemon aren't as easy to come by, and completing the Pokedex will be significantly more difficult. So, whether you live in an urban area or a rural area, completing the Pokedex in Pokemon Go is very different than the console games, such as Red or Blue. As of right now, it's not possible to catch all 150 or 151 first generation Pokemon. So we know that only the first generation is in Pokemon Go right now, but that doesn't mean all of the Pokemon are available. So there's a bunch of Pokemon that are impossible to get right now, such as Mew, Mewtwo, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Ditto. So that's the 5 legendaries from Gen 1 and Ditto. So this brings the number of Pokemon you can catch down from 151 to 145. In addition to that, there's also Pokemon that are region locked. So what that means is that these Pokemon are only catchable in certain parts of the world and nowhere else. For instance, Tauros is only available in North America, Farfetch'd is only available in Asia, Mr. Mime is only available in Europe, and Kangaskhan is only available in Australia. So this means that the total number you can get for your region is 142 Pokemon. People have said that Farfetch'd, Mr. Mime, Tauros, and Kangaskhan are available in eggs, even outside of their respective regions, but I've yet to see confirmation of this. I would love to see confirmation of this. That would be very exciting. I've actually already completed my regional Pokedex. I have 142 Pokemon, but if I could get Farfetch'd, Mr. Mime, and Kangaskhan here in the United States through eggs, I would definitely be hatching a lot more eggs than I have been since I've actually completed the Pokedex. So that's pretty much it for filling up the Pokedex. There was a glitch recently before the August 8th patch that made it very hard to catch any Pokemon, even a Pidgey. But it's since been fixed, which is great. I spoke about that in my last video, the fixes that they released. So it's actually, everything's working now as far as catching goes. I know there's a glitch that the first Pokeball you throw may go very, very far, but that doesn't really hurt you too bad as long as you have enough Pokeballs to spare. It hasn't actually happened to me yet, the Pokeball glitch where it goes very far, but I've been seeing a lot of posts about it online. But right now, your Curveball and your Nice, Great, Excellent multipliers will stack. So you'll not only get the catch multipliers for that, you'll also get the experience for that, and your new Pokemon experience, and just catching a Pokemon experience. So it's really good. I think the most you can get for one Pokemon without it being on a Lucky Egg is 710. So that's great. That's a lot of experience for one catch. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is experience and leveling. So I mentioned earlier in this video that you unlock items as you level up. So level 5 is the first level where you unlock items, and most importantly, a major game feature. When you hit level 5, you'll unlock gyms. So gyms are a huge part of the game, especially late game when you have stronger Pokemon and you want to compete, and you can actually get Pokecoins through having gyms or being a gym leader or defending a gym. So upon first entering a gym at level 5, you'll be prompted to choose a team. Although there's a lot of pretend hate or real hate or just jokes online about teams and which team is better, which team is worse, choose whichever team you prefer, whether that's based on the values that the gym leaders say that the teams represent, or the legendary bird, like that's why I chose my team, or even just the color. If you like red, pick Valor. If you like blue, pick Mystic. Whatever you want to pick, there's no wrong choice. If you like Instinct, there's nothing wrong with Instinct. It is worth mentioning that there are rumors, and these are just rumors, but there are rumors going around that the legendary Pokemon that are associated with your team's color will be the only legendary bird you'll be able to catch. I don't know if I believe this. I feel like that's limiting. People really want to be able to fill the Pokedex, and I don't really trust people that I don't know that I meet in a park to do touch trading like Articuno over Zapdos or anything like that. I don't know if I'm actually going to get my Pokemon back, so that would make me uncomfortable. I'm hoping that you'll be able to catch all the Pokemon. I'm fine with them being events. I'm fine with them being super rare, but I do want to be able to complete the Pokedex one day, have all 721 or 900, however many it is when Alola comes out and Sun and Moon come out. So I just really want to be able to catch them all, So I hope that they don't make it too hard or impossible to do so. Alright, so at level 5, you unlock potions, which heal 20 damage, and revives, which revives a Pokemon from being knocked out and leaves it at half health. So both of these will be really necessary and really important for battling gyms. Level 8, you unlock raspberries, which increases your chances of catching a Pokemon, like I said earlier. At level 10, you unlock super potions, which heal 50 HP. At level 12, you unlock great balls, which have a higher catch rate than Pokeballs. At level 15, you unlock hyper potions, which heal 200 HP. At level 20, you unlock Ultra Balls, which are so far the strongest Pokeball. It has a higher catch rate than Great Balls and a much higher catch rate than Pokeballs. At level 25, you unlock Max Potions, which fully heal a Pokemon, which is basically right now, there's only a couple of Pokemon who really get that much higher than 200 HP, like Snorlax and Chansey. So other than that, Hyper Potions generally do the job, but Max Potions will be great if you have a very high HP Pokemon that you like to battle in gyms with. And at level 30, you unlock the highest level items so far, which are Max Revives, which revive a Pokemon from being knocked out and heal it completely. So right now, there's no. We know that the max level is 40, thanks to botters and people who cheat the game. Although I don't condone that, it is great for learning information about the game, and those accounts have all been banned now anyway. But 40 is the highest level, but there's no items that you unlock after level 30. I know that some of you are new to Pokemon. I know some of you are new to games in general. So for those of you who've never played a game based on experience before, the leveling system may be a little confusing. Many different things in the game reward you with experience points, which are required for gaining levels. The amount of experience you gain is highly varied, ranging from 10 to 1,000. Catching, hatching, and evolving Pokemon all give experience points. Catching a Pokemon gives you 100 experience, but if the Pokemon you caught has not previously been registered in your Pokedex, you will get an additional 500 experience. The way that you register a Pokemon in your Pokedex is by catching the Pokemon. So every time you catch a Pokemon for the first time, you will get 500 experience, or if you evolve to that Pokemon, and it's a new Pokemon for you. So throwing a curveball will give you 10 experience, as will a nice throw. A great throw will give you 50 experience, and an excellent throw will grant you an additional 100 experience. Evolving a Pokemon gives 500 experience. If the Pokemon you evolve to is a new Pokedex entry, you will receive the 500 experience bonus as well, so you can get 1,000. Hatching eggs gives 100 experience times the kilometers the egg took to hatch. So a 2-kilometer egg will give you 200 experience, a 5-kilometer egg will give you 500 experience, and a 10-kilometer egg will give you 1,000 experience. The amount of experience needed to level drastically increases as your level gets higher. However, level 20 is a milestone because you will gain access to Ultra Balls from Pokestops, as well as the maximum level that affects Pokemon hatching from eggs. Each time you level, you're rewarded with level-appropriate items, such as Pokeballs and Potions, but milestone levels such as 10, 15, and 20 also come with items from the shop such as Incense, Lucky Eggs, Incubators, and more modules. You can use these at your discretion. I would use Lucky Eggs in order to gain more experience to level up faster. So if you have a Lucky Egg, save up as many evolutions as you can, and try to evolve as many Pokemon as you can while the Lucky Egg is active. The Lucky Egg is active for about 30 minutes. You should be able to evolve about 60 Pokemon in that time, but you won't really be able to do anything else. Definitely save new Pokemon evolutions for when you're using a Lucky Egg, because that'll give you a ton of experience. Since you get 500 experience just for evolving, and 500 experience for a new Pokemon, that's 1,000 experience. On a Lucky Egg, that's 2,000 experience. That's 10% of the experience needed from 19 to 20, I believe. Maybe it's 25,000 from 19 to 20, I can't remember. But that's a huge amount of experience, and if you use these items the right way, it makes the game much easier to level up, and then you'll be getting much stronger Pokemon just from normal catches, and much stronger Pokemon from hatching eggs. So that's all for today's episode. I hope you guys really liked it. Put a lot of work into it. Please subscribe if you can. Like the video, leave a comment, ask any questions. This definitely won't be my last Pokemon Go video, so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again, and have a good one.